Hey, good afternoon. It looks like. Welcome back to APAW's sPlainJane Reality. This will be part 4 of 6 of How We Roll, and subtitled Returning to the Personal Reasons for My Choice to Become Jewish. Like my father before me, who married the woman who seemed to complete him, or at least best seemed able to team up with him as a marriage partner, regardless of their different takes on religion, I was motivated to marry for the usual reasons of love and desire. Mostly desire, which is one of the primary drivers of all human activity, especially on the male side. In addition to the vacuum of my own spiritual life and the attraction of joining a broad river of religious life, the fact that Judaism was one of the major religions seemed to fit the bill for my inchoate longings for a place to stand. I always felt that God, by whatever name we use, is the same creator or great spirit animating life on this third rock, by whatever religion you call your own. I completed the religious requirements for conversion about 1 week before the actual wedding. A grand affair and one of the best wedding celebrations there ever was. Believe me, it was a party. Several folks have told me it was the best wedding they ever attended. I don't take the credit for this. I attribute that to my wife's father and family. My very dear godmother, my Aunt Ida, my mother's younger sister, and a stout Catholic who remained in that faith all of her life, threw Uncle Ben's converted rice at us as we left the synagogue. People still used rice then, not being aware of its effect on bird life. Sorry about that. We invited everyone, all of Dad's evangelical side of the family, all of Mom's Catholic side of the family, all of my Jewish bride's side of the family, all of our hippie and Jewish friends, with a couple of notable exceptions. My best friend in high school, I don't know how I missed that, and anyone else who was connected to our tribe. My father-in-law had a large sense of the connectedness of the human enterprise. I broke the glass wrapped in a napkin after the ceremony under the huppah canopy, and I signed the ketubah marriage contract. I stayed faithful to my wife for our entire marriage. Later, getting our civil divorce as she was becoming an attorney. Don't divorce an attorney. Which I helped to motivate her to do, I believe. It's another story. But we also had to end the ketubah agreement in the proper religious way. Ostensibly, even after our divorce, I remained Jewish, thinking that one should have only one religious conversion per life. This rather brief and bare-bones description of my backstory to how I very incrementally arrived at my complex view of human life as a subscript of all life on the planet may indicate some of my personal drivers. I have written other chapters to my saga, and I have posted ponderous poems online on YouTube to flesh out some other ironies. I leave it to the reader or listeners of my story to fill in the rest. Okay, subtitle, Going All Manifest Destiny Again. In trying to peer down the well of human history, human motivation, and how we got to this train wreck of human confusion and constant warfare, I would be remiss if I did not provide a couple more asides. As much as I desire to be succinct, and there is really no short version to anybody's story, this is only my subjective interpretation. But we do get out what we put in. Trying to comprehend the entire history of humans and the world is a task for a fool, but it is not as bad as trying to explain God. Think of it as trying to explain myself to God, although he or she does not need me to do that either. Making sense out of the seemingly random chaos of contemporary events does demand a certain amount of arrogance or diligence, and I will admit to that, but in the context of desperately seeking a solution why we wish to kill each other a great deal of the time, I think there are plenty of reasons and plenty of blame to go around, but laying blame does not get us very far. We create resistance when we are in a reactive state and end by realizing our worst fears instead of our best hopes. As long as fear is the driver, we seem to get stuck in that fear. The more we fail to admit the fear, the more power over us it seems to exert. There is nothing better than keeping a relaxed hand upon the rudder or on the reins of the horse you are riding, unless you need to hang on for dear life, I suppose. Life is about relationships and engagement, and some kind of gyroscope is needed. It does not have to be complicated. As a matter of fact, the less complicated you make your life, generally the better it is. But some of us never seem to get the manual, like me. Now that's the end of part 4 of How We Roll, and thank you for the use of the hall.